The opener to Fulton County, who tonight at 6 o'clock will be in the Class A semifinals. They lost to Graves County on September 10th and to Paducah Tillman on September 24th. And since that time, the Cardinals have given up only 19 points. The first-string defense has not given up any points since that time. The Cardinals defense, one of the stingiest in the state of Kentucky.
Well, Rolf, this has been a outstanding defense, and I think you have to attribute it to certainly to be good on defense. You have to be good right up the middle, and the Mayfield Cardinals are about as tough right up the middle when you're talking about their nose guard, their 2 tackles, and their linebacker and safety man. And when you have that, you make people do a lot of things that they don't want to do. They really have a problem establishing an inside game against that front 5 of Mayfield's.
Montez Benjamin back to return the kick. He's averaging almost 29 yards per return. Alonzo Daniels back there with him. He's averaging about 13. And Constantine also back. So if Benjamin gets it, he's really been good in helping the Cardinals get good field position, which they've had a lot of in the last few games.
Well, that's true, and earlier in the year we didn't have, Rolf.
We're ready to go. Nice kick will be taken by Benjamin at the 15. He's up at the 30-yard line, still on his feet. Actually brought down from behind at about the 37-yard line as he got behind a pretty darn good wall of blockers there for the Cardinals.
Made a couple nice moves to get that extra 10 yards. He made a move on one of the tacklers coming down the field, and then sidestepped another and moved it up for great field position. And today, like today, Rolf, we'll keep talking about field position, but really important today for a football team to establish field position.
Cardinals come up on offense. They'll have Benjamin split wide to the right side in a power formation behind Whaley. He'll hand it off to Bright. Bright's got room at the 40, left on the field at the 50-yard line. He's still on his feet at the 40-yard line of the opposition, shoved out of bounds at the 35. And that play apparently caught Fort Knox completely off guard. And Michael Bright with a huge pickup on first down. And the Cardinals real happy about the way things started.
Well, that's true, and what they did, they run the power dive with Haley double team down with their tackle and right guard, Walker and Hughes, and then, of course, Haley kicked out the tackle, and they can't stay in that defense against our offense. That's a wide tackle 6, and Mayfield really likes to run against that defense.
Benjamin again wide to the right side. Again, it is Haley and Bright behind quarterback Whaley. It's 1st and 10 at the 34. Handoff to Bright. He is hit in the backfield and thrown for a loss. Over on the left side defensively, number 35. Let's check him. No, they don't have him on that starting lineup. We'll go to the roster. That's Chris Wright.
Right. He angled from his inside position, and we just didn't make a good clean block. Right now, the Cardinals are I'm sure, going to come right out and try to run right straight at this Knox defense. The way the field is, it's going to be tough getting on the corners.
2nd down and 11. Chris Wright is the starting linebacker. They had a number change. On the 2nd down carry, it's Michael Bright up the middle. He hits it up the middle and got nothing. I'm not sure if Michael was just diving forward or if the ball might have fallen loose, but either way, the Cardinals retained possession. It's going to be 3rd and long at the 34-yard line for Knox.
Well, Mayfield right on the borderline of being in 4-down territory. And, of course, I'm sure they're going to put that thing in the air or possibly even try to throw something short and pick up part of this 10 yards that they need.
Got a wide left and right, Bright and Benjamin respectively. Back to pass is Whaley. He's found a seam up over the middle, got it into the hands of Hargrove. Hargrove, a great catch down to the 20-yard line. Folks, you can't say enough about that catch for Jay Hargrove because the defender's hand was right in front of Jay's face and the ball, and he had great concentration, brought it in, and got the crucial 3rd down catch.
Well, the Cardinals went to 2 wide outs and also 2 tight ends with just a 1-back set, and you have to give Russell Whaley, the coverage on that was excellent. He just laid the ball over the strong safety's head, and as you say, it was a nice catch.
Whaley ready under center just inside the 20-yard line. Handoff to Chad Haley. Haley fighting his way to the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Again, good blocking by that right side of the offensive line, and then a good finish on the run by Chad.
Chad really got his shoulders. It's an off-tackle play that they put in for Chad, and he's trying to get up, off tackle, but he does a good job when he hits that off-tackle hole, is running parallel, turning his shoulders right straight towards the goal line and got an extra couple of yards by doing that.
2nd down and 5. The Cardinals are on this first possession trying to push something in. They're at the 14-yard line. And Whaley, the quarterback, for the first time tonight, has the wishbone intact behind him. Going to the right side, Bright's got room into about the 10-yard line. And Little is setting up third down and probably a couple of yards. And as you can imagine, we're definitely in four-down territory here with third and 2.
Right, and of course what Fort Knox is doing now, they're staying in their basic 6, but they're bringing all their D-backs up close to the line of scrimmage, and it's really almost like a 6-5 goal line right now outside the 10-yard line.
It is 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Cardinals took this opening kickoff at their 37. They're down with the 3rd and 2 at about the 11. Handoff to Bright. Bright skips away from one tackler. He's got the first down, leaning towards the 5-yard line, knocked out of bounds at about the 6. It'll be 1st and goal, Mayfield.
Just an excellent job. They didn't look like they were anything there, Roth, and Mikey is just so strong. He's kind of drugged the guy for the first down. We're going to be in a situation where it's 1st and goal on about the 7-yard line, and the Cardinals need to really get this one in. This would be a tremendous drive for them before everything gets real wet. Your uniform gets wet, the ball gets wet, so they really need to punch this one in.
1st and goal. They're going to call it the 7-yard line for the Cardinals. Whaley with the power formation to the right side, hands it to Chad Haley. Haley's past the 5, spins away, dives to about the 3.5-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and goal.
Just a good job, our offensive line. They're having to block a bunch of folks up there, and they got a good line to surge forward, knocking the left defensive tackle of Fort Knox off the ball, and Chad went right in behind Jeremy Hughes and Jay Hargrove there for about 3-yard gain. A nice gain on this goal line situation.
Back at the studios, if y'all run a tape on the game, we'd appreciate it. It is 2nd down and goal from the 3. Whaley with the wishbone behind him. Looks to the right side, hands off to Bright. Bright seems to be hit in the backfield and will be thrown for a loss. And it'll be 3rd and goal at about the 5 if we get that good a mark.
That time we got penetration from the backside, and Mikey looked like that he had going to get some yardage, but somebody broke through from the right side. We were running away from the defensive right side to the Fort Knox left, but someone, one of the defensive linemen broke through. I didn't catch the number, but held him up, and the other players from Knox were able to get there and gang tackle Mikey.
7.5 minutes to go, first quarter. 3rd and goal from the 5. The Cardinals trying to punch it in on this first possession of the ball game. To the left side, Haley gets the handoff. Haley fighting forward, still working forward, and he's going to be very close. He's inside the 3, and just a great deal of strength and effort as Chad took some people with him, and he's to about the 1.5.
Really, Roth, there wasn't anything there. There was no hole that time. They had us in a goal line situation, and Chad just carried him for 2 yards. A tremendous run. This is 4th and goal on about looks like possibly the 1.5 to 2-yard line.
Timeout being asked for by the Cardinals on this 4th and goal situation. 6:53 to go first quarter. Mayfield trying to score on their first possession. We'll be back right after this 30-second break.
Where everybody gets wet and can't find any, anything dry on them to wipe their hands, to take that thing and score. That's a big touchdown right there for the Cardinals. This is a big extra point.
Calgar the hold. The kick is on the way, and it is on the mark and good. And as the day goes on, it may be a little tougher for those extra point kickers if they get those areas worn down. But that time right through the middle by Carson Graham, and the Cardinals lead 7-0, taking almost 6.5 minutes off the first quarter clock in that drive. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in 30 seconds. Powell's kick coming down the field, going to be taken at the 12-yard line, and coming right up the middle of the field is Homer. Ooh. Homer is just about to break loose, but Michael Kemp is holding on Bulldog tight. and Homer is out to the 43-yard line. So, again, great field position this time for the opponent.
Yes, that was a great job by Kemp. It was a touchdown if he hadn't have made the tackle. There was no doubt about it. He just hung on. The back almost broke the thing anyway, but, boy, that was a great job by Michael Kemp.
Bostic is the quarterback. He is another one of those great athletes who they want the ball in his hand. Homer, the halfback, has over 1,700 yards. On first down, they hand off to Homer, and he is smothered. Derek Homer wearing number 42 today. He's been wearing number 40. He, again, has almost 1,700 yards on the year, and he is just a freshman.
Ronnie Coles made a slant to the wide side, a perfect call, and he was a second back through, and Ronnie, just as soon as he handed off, he made the tackle for about a 2-yard loss. A great job of Ronnie Coles.
Second down and 12 for Fort Knox. Bostic hands off to Homer up the middle, spins away from one tackler. He's in open field, and he is gone. Homer spun away, and nobody's going to catch him, as when he spun, he actually reversed field. So it doesn't take long for Fort Knox to get right back in this thing. Homer went that time 58 yards.
And, you know, the amazing thing, Roth, about Homer, he's only a freshman. The young man's really a good-looking back. He's quick. He's not very tall, but he's put together well. And that time, he hit it up in there, cut it back. That's the greatest thing you can do on a field like this, because people, when they try to stop, they can't. And he made the cut back and broke it and broke a tackle and went all the way.
Time for Fort Knox trying to make it even. The kick is down and on the way, and it is good.
I don't see how we kept him blocking that. We had lots of people back there then, Roth, but we just missed the ball.
So it took Mayfield 5 minutes and 15 seconds to score. It took Fort Knox roughly 1 minute before they broke on the scoreboard with 5:43 to go in the first quarter. We're even at 7-7. We'll be back right after this 30-second break. Good. They kicking off, too. Derek Homer will kick off. He just ran a 58-yard touchdown. He just kind of lackadaisically runs up there, punches the ball down the middle of the field. It hits at the 30, picked up and coming right up the middle is to the 40-yard line is Cephas Tyler.
Nice job by Cephas. He catches it on the first bounce. It was a short kick, and he just ducked that head, and that's what you should do. That time on the play that Homer scored on, the Cardinals really early in the game trying to fly to the football. What they did, they over-pursued. There was a little counter play back. He got it right up in the middle. They trapped their tackle, cut it right up inside, and then he broke it back to the backside and really just left them.
As we've indicated to you, the young man is a freshman and is a definite all-state candidate. Handoff on the first down. Kerry Benjamin with the first touch of the day, and he's got room around the left end. Montez turns on the burners. He's at the 40, the 30, and is pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Touchdown saving dive made over there by number 2. That's Terry King from his safety position.
Just a great job right there by Montez Benjamin. What happened was the play was designed to go off tackle, a little counter play that was supposed to go off tackle, and the Fort Knox defensive end closed inside, and he just bounced it outside and just outrun him for a big gainer.
So 2 big first down carries for the Cardinals in their 2 possessions. Again, it is 7-7. First and 10, Mayfield at the 25. Bright staying on his feet, fighting forward for a couple of yards, and that's about it. Over on the stop is Nathan Mays from his defensive position. Let's check where he is. I'm sure he's changed number 2. No, we don't have him. He's started in defense today, and I know he's on their offensive team.
Number 78, Carl Rogers, defensive lineman, got too much penetration. When the Cardinals are keeping down penetration, they're getting good yardage. When Knox defense gets back in the backfield, they're forcing us too wide, and you just can't get outside.
It's second down and 9 for Mayfield at the 24-yard line of Fort Knox. Handoff at the middle to Bright. Bright lowers his head, finishes the run at about the 18-yard line. That'll set up third down. Depending upon where they mark the ball, 3 to 4 yards.
It's going to be 3rd and 5, and maybe a passing situation for the Cardinals here. Although we are in 2 down, 2 downs to get that 5-yard. We're in 4-down territory, and we've had great field position on both drives. Need to pop this one in too.
Mayfield to the line of scrimmage, third down. About 4.5 yards to go. Wishbone's behind Whaley. Long count. Hands off to Bright. He's got people in the backfield, and he is thrown for a big loss of about 3 yards. Big in the fact that it's not a lot of yards, but big because of what it's set up, and that's 4th and long.
Well, it really was. And again, that penetration that I was talking about, the Knox is a very much a stunning defensively ball club. And what they're doing, their linemen are not playing straight on. They're setting, they're lining up head on us, and then they're taking angles one way or the other, which is really giving us a little bit of a problem right now. We're going to have to, pick those stunts up if we're going to move the football consistently like we did on the first series.
The Cardinals are going for a field goal. Carson Graham has spotted the tee at the 30-yard line, make it a 40-yard field goal. Calger's ready to hold. Nice snap, nice placement. The kick is not going to be there. He got a little bit offline on it and was kind of a spinner.
Yeah, he didn't really get into it good. He was in a good position on the field. I'm sure this is one reason why the Cardinals tried the field goal. He's certainly capable of kicking a 40-yard field goal. But what happens is on this field is that you worry about your foot slipping. But they were over on the hash mark, and he was there in real good side. Looked like he had no problem with that. He just didn't hit it square.
Fort Knox takes over 1st and 10 on their 20-yard line after the field goal attempt. And again, it is Bostic, the quarterback. He'll hand off to the second man. That is, again, Homer. And that is Dingle. Dingle knocks loose from the first tackler and will pick up about 3 yards. Let's wait for the final marker on it.
The Fort Knox offense is almost identical to what we run at Mayfield. And that time, Craig Dick tried to close down. They trapped him with the fullback, run the dive inside. And he made the play, and the back just, he had one leg, and he just pulled out and ended up getting 3 yards on his own. But Craig was in good position that time.
Dingle averages about 4.5 yards per carry. Again, he has about 500-plus yards on the year. There's a handoff to Homer, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage. If he got the line of scrimmage, it would be a generous mark. It'll set up 3rd down and about 6 or 7.
That time, Craig Dick didn't miss the tackle. He was playing on the offensive tackle. They tried to run inside him. He just closed it down, and he had a lot of help, but he made the first contact and really drilled the back. 3rd and long now, Roth, about 3rd and 8.5 yards, and we hope that we can, we're going to probably see the first pass of the game for the Fort Knox Eagles.
Bostic has just thrown 18 times on the year, completing 8 of those, but his real threat's when he gets back in the pocket and doesn't throw it. This time he doesn't throw it at all. He pitches, and there it is Dingle, and Dingle is outside Cardinal defenders and is out, drugged down at the 45-yard line as, again, the play just got outside the Cardinals, and he has a first and 10 at the 45.
Well, the Cardinals were looking for pass, I'm sure. They were in a situation that they thought almost positive that Knox would throw the football. Bostic come up in a very quick cadence, run the flip, and it got outside our end, and our cornerback didn't set the corner, and big gainer for him, big play for Fort Knox right there. Our defense is going to have to start playing.
1st and 10 at the 44. Handoff to the first man up the middle. That is the fullback Mays, and Nathan Mays powers his way to the 50-yard line. Mays, a 220-pound fullback. That's a good-sized young man.
Yes, and Alonzo Daniel played it well. He made the hit right at about the line of scrimmage, or maybe a yard past the line of scrimmage, and just dearly hung on as the fullback carried him for about 4. He's a big, strong kid.
220-pound, 6'2" fullback. Mays, the only senior in that backfield for Fort Knox, folks. Bostic, the quarterback, on the handoff, gets it to number 34, Dingle, and again, Dingle is through the Cardinal offensive line and is down to about the 43-yard line, where it'll be another first down for the Fort Knox team.
They're running right straight at our linebackers right now, Roth, and just with the straight dive and using the fullback to either trap or to lead on the linebacker. And I noticed that they brought Alonzo out and put Cephas in. Alonzo's not very big up in there, and they're probably trying to get a little bit more size up there at that linebacker. Cephas is about 190 pounds because they're running right straight at us. Cardinals going to an 8-man front now.
Bostic, the quarterback, hands off on the inside counter play. There's Homer. Again, he shed a couple of tacklers and is to about the 35-yard line, and a nice pickup on first down.
Well, that time, they run the trap on us against the 8-man front, and they're just not supposed to be able to trap that 8-man front like that. He can slip through an awfully tiny hole. Boy, he hits that thing good. We look like we're not really sharp tackling. Of course, it makes it tough tackling on a field like this one, but we're going to have to start keeping our head up and not missing the tackle, because certainly Homer can make you miss, and Mays is so big you better stick him down the middle and get a lot of folks there.
It is the end of the first quarter of play. We are deadlocked at 7-7. Mayfield and Fort Knox will be back right after this 30-second break.
They're a little better than I thought they were.
7-7. Each team has scored on their first possession. Fort Knox now with just their second possession of the night has it at the 35. Possession. Fort Knox now with just their second possession of the night has it at the 35 of Mayfield with a second and about 3. And no doubt about it, we saw it last week. You're seeing it again this week. When you get this stage of the playoffs, you're not going to have a team that's got many weaknesses, and definitely haven't seen very much weakness on this Fort Knox team.
Oh, that's true, Roth. They're a good ball club, and to tell the truth, they're a better football team than I thought they were. This ball club was I saw them last year on film, and they really were really a poor ball club. Right now, this is a good football team. We're going to have to play well.
It is second down and about 3. Bostic will hand it off to the fullback up the middle, and that is Mays. And he didn't get much, but I tell you what, just like all the running backs are doing, he's giving it that extra effort. And if you don't hit him and hang on, you might be watching him from behind.
That was a great job of Cephas, and that's one reason why we put Cephas in there. He's got a little bit better size. He stepped up in that hole, made the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, really wrapped up where the back couldn't get a little extra. And now it's going to be still 3rd and 2. So great job by our defense right there. Now we really need to bow our necks right here.
At the line of scrimmage is Gabe Bostic. He hadn't run the ball yet tonight. He'll hand it off up the middle, and there is Homer, and he is going to be plowing forward to about the 30-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down for Derek Homer and Fort Knox.
This is a freshman running back, as you'll see right here. This young man, we hope that he can only stay a couple of years at Fort Knox, because, boy, he's a good one. He's quick. He's put together well. He's not a very big kid, but, boy, he really hits the hole quick. And he's really effective on this football field. It's, it's a slow track, let's face it, and he doesn't look slow. He looks very quick.
Need to tell Marshall Patterson about this guy and see if he can get somebody pull rank and get him. I don't know whether we want him that close. Or ship him up
we'd rather him be at Fort Knox than camp.
That's right. We're early in the second quarter of play. The fullback hits up the middle. That's Mays. He doesn't go down. He just keeps on juking, trying to get something, and doesn't. As the Cardinals hit and hold, it'll be second down and 10 at the 30-yard line for Fort Knox.
Well, they tried the big fullback right up the middle, and Jeremy Hughes was right at his ankles, and then Cephas Tyler and Craig Dick both come in on him, and he didn't get an inch. They spotted the ball exactly where he was at last time.
Second down and 10. Bostic hands it to the second man, and boy, did Homer get a licking that time. And that was Todd Stein that came through there.
No, I believe that was Cephas from the linebacker.
From linebacker position. Okay.
The Cardinals run a split stunt right there, and they're bringing Cephas out now. But, boy, that was a great stunt by him, a great call by the defensive coaches. They had to stop him, and so they went to the stunt. It worked perfectly. They stunted correctly into the side, to the strong side where that they've been hurting us over to the tight end, and the call was a stunt to the strong side, and boy, it nailed them.
Homer goes out for the first time tonight, and I don't think he's injured, but he's getting some instructions from one of the assistant coaches over there, but he took a shot. They're going to pitch it to the back. He's going to throw it. Dingle chunks it downfield long, well out of bounds on 3rd and 12, and it'll be 4th and 12 at the 32-yard line for Fort Knox, and that play just didn't look very pretty.
It really didn't, and I think Dingle got in a hurry because he had 2 receivers wide open. They pitched the ball back like it was going to be the sweep, what they run on 3rd and long while ago, only this time they sent 2 receivers down the field, and it looked like that especially the one going right down the middle was wide open, but he had to hurry his throw. He got pretty good pressure, and he just threw it away.
Dingle threw it about 5 to 10 yards out of bounds. 4th and long, pitch to Homer. Homer's in the backfield. He's broken loose. He's coming right up the middle of the field, and he has the first down. On 4th and 12, Derek Homer took the pitch to the left side, didn't really sweep left. They cut it right back up the middle, found a seam in the Cardinal defense, and he raced to the Cardinal 11 before stopped.
That time, again, what they did to us a while ago on a 3rd and long situation, they pitched the ball And, he started to the outside. He cut it back, and our defense was out there. It just over-pursued, and it's very easy to do. It's hard to recover when the field's like it is, and he just cut it back up and had a big hole and picked up a big first down. We need to put it to stop to him right here.
First and goal, first and 10 from the 11, and Homer is hit by Ronnie Coles at the line of scrimmage, and he'll be thrown for a loss. And the Cardinal defense, for the first time in about 9 games, has given up first team defense has given up a touchdown, and right now their backs are up against that goal line wall.
Well, that's true, and this, like I say, it's second. It was a great job right there, but we've been doing a great job for 2-3 plays and then letting them break something, and we're going to have to, be a better tackling football team.
Jaworski Cherry is into the ball game for the Cardinals, and Jaworski doesn't have the chin strap snapped on yet. We got a wide out to the left side. That's Terry King. And let's see, that is Dingle in a slot to the left side, so they're going to have a pair of receivers to the left side. And in the backfield behind quarterback Bostic is Mays and Homer. Now we're ready to go. Second down and 11 from the 12-yard line. Fort Knox trying again to get on the board. This is their second possession. Bostic going to pitch to the left side. Homer's on the sweep. Gets hit at the 10, falls forward to about the 8-yard line. That'll set up third. And we're going to make a guess of about 7 or 8 for first down.
Great job right there, that time by Chris Calger. He was out there. They had a lot of interference out. They did a good job blocking our strong safety and hooking our end. And Chris was all out there by himself and come up and made a great tackle for only a couple of yard gain. That was a touchdown saving tackle right there. If he hadn't made that, he could have walked in the end zone.
Letchler is in at the wide receiver. Again, they'll have Dingle in the slot to the left side. It is third down and about 8. Handoff up the middle. That is Homer. He's hit, spins, falls forward to about the 5-yard line. So again, another big, crucial play. Each team has had a bunch of them already here in this first quarter and a half. It's going to be 4th and about 5, and it looks like they're going to field goal it.
They're going to go the field goal. They got a bad angle here. They're on the left hash mark. And, of course, if it is and I think it probably is a sidewinder type field goal kicker, usually they like to kick from the left hash mark. But it's a severe angle right here. And, of course, Cardinals are lining down going to try to get a hand on this one.
Billy Barnes, a 6'1 junior. He's the left-footed sidewind kicker. Kick is on the way. I got it. It was a crawler. Barnes comes rolling off the field, and I'm not sure. No, I think he just kept concentrating on it. It barely cleared the uprights, but it doesn't make any difference as long as it's over.
It really did. It looked like he didn't hit it good at all, Rolf, and it looked like he wasn't even going to get there, and this was a very short field goal attempt, but it just barely cleared the crossbars. And, it counts as 3 whether it went over by 20 yards or it just barely went over. And that time, that was a tremendous drive by the Fort Knox Ball Club. They picked up some real crucial third down situation, 3rd and long, and didn't throw it to do it. They've still yet to really put the ball in the air with their quarterback. Now, they tried to run the runner throw, but the quarterback has yet to throw the football, I don't believe.
Homer will kick off, and we'll be back with a kickoff right after this 30-second break. Was that? No, he didn't take his time at all, does he?
He kicked.
Whoops, kick. Cephas, okay. Homer's kick is to Cephas Tyler, and Cephas brings it back out to the 37-yard line where the Cardinals take over. 7 minutes to go in the first half, and it's a 3-point lead for Fort Knox after Billy Barnes' kick went in from about 20 yards out. Russell Whaley, the quarterback, got the power eye to the left side behind him. Hands it off to Chad Haley. He's got room at the 40. Good tackle by King. Takes Haley's feet out from under him after he crosses the 40 and out to the 42. It'll be second down and about 6 for the Cardinals.
Nice job right there by Mayfield. They did a good job of blocking that, and really, that was a great tackle as well. But there was a good blocking, good hole, good 5-yard gain on first down.
Clock running, 6:20 to go. In the first half of play, Mayfield scored on their first possession, drove down and missed a field goal on their second possession. Fort Knox scored on their first and got a field goal on their second. Handoff left side to Montez Benjamin, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle that time by David Williams. Williams coming up from, well, we don't have what position he's playing. He's playing a defensive end position.
Well, the Cardinals were running to the left side, to the short side of the field. We're running an off-tackle play, and the defensive end out there at that time, Chad Haley and Mikey Bright went right at him, and I think both of them thought the other person was going to take him. They just let him go right between them and make a bone-crushing tackle on him. We didn't block him.
3rd down and 5 for the Cardinals at their own 42.5-yard line. Benjamin's wide right. Back to pass is Whaley. Looks in the flats, gets Benjamin. Oh, knocked down, and Lavelle Orr got his hand on it, and had he tipped it a little higher, kept it alive, and recovered it, he'd have been into the end zone before anybody could have got it.
Well, the Cardinals tried to run the delay out there from their wide receiver underneath. They run their tight end deep through the halfback, and they're going to bring their wide receiver, Mikey Bright, underneath. And the strong safety was out there, and it was going to work. And Russell just has to wait till he clears that strong safety before he throws it. That time, he just released it, and it could have been intercepted. And if it had been, it would have been a touchdown.
Carson Graham ready to punt. He'll be standing at the 30. Nice snap, good handle. Carson got it off the side of his foot. Needs to take a Cardinal bounce. Takes not much of a bounce, kind of chalks up there at the 45-yard line. Fort Knox takes over with good field position at their own 45.
Well, we need to, that's one thing we need to do. We need to get that good punt coverage. And Carson last game really asserted himself. He had a good one. And, he needs to do that again this ball game. Right now, they've got Fort Knox has the ball in good field position, 5:10 left on the clock, and, a leading. So I'm sure they'd like to have a good drive and score here.
10-7, the handoff is into the hands of Homer, and Homer had Cephas Tyler around his ankles almost immediately, and Cephas just waited for the cavalry to come on in and put the clincher on Derek Homer, and he will probably be spotted for about a yard loss at most.
They run the same play that they broke for a touchdown, the long touchdown Homer broke earlier. That time the Cardinals had a stun on. They didn't block Cephas Tyler. He made the tackle, but Craig Dick was in perfect position to make the play if he hadn't. He was closing it down just like he was supposed to.
Letzler is wide right. The wishbone is behind Bostic. He'll hand it off. The ball is loose on the ground, and the Cardinals are up with it. And let's see, it is Cephas Tyler who came up with it.
Just a great job right there by the defense. I'm sure that scouting, the Cardinals were slanting hard to the way the ball was going. And Ronnie Cole, if he's, as he's so quick and short that he gets underneath that center, and I really think he's the one that caused the fumble right there, and Cephas got on it.
So the Cardinals have their best field position of the night. It is a 3-point lead for Fort Knox right now at 10-7. They've got a little bit of equipment problem being worked on in the Cardinal huddle, or a shoestring. Mayfield at the 45 of Fort Knox. 4 minutes to go here in the first half of play, so not a lot of time. Cardinals took almost 6.5 minutes in their first possession. Benjamin in motion to the left side. Whaley, long count, hands off to Chad Haley, and Haley gets back the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Well, the Cardinals run motion that time, trying to get the strong safety or the cornerback to go wide. They run the slant to Chad Haley, and, they got a great block out of our left guard there, Chris Morris. And he had the end kicked out, but we didn't keep the pursuit from the inside getting off and making the tackle on Chad before he got started. Boy, if we could have just kept that pursuit, we'd had a big play.
3:24 to go in the first half of play. Again, Benjamin in motion to the left side. Handoff quickly right up the middle to Haley. Haley slips one tackler, fights forward. Ball squirts loose to the 39-yard line, and Fort Knox comes up with it.
But I think they've called this dead right here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Haley.
No, they didn't. They called it the ooh-ee.
Well, we had one official standing on a spot like he was going to protect that spot so that he placed the ball there, and then the other official called it Fort Knox's ball 3 yards downfield.
He looked like he was marking it, didn't he, Ross?
He had his feet planted.
And of course, that's the thing, when Chad really, what happens is the only time you'll see Chad fumble like that, he just gives such an effort that he was spinning and turning, and somebody come in and knocked it away on one of those spin moves.
So Fort Knox takes over back on the 40, a pair of fumbles in succession. Pitch to the left side to Homer. Homer trying to sweep, doesn't get anywhere, and we've got a flag, our first one of the game, and it apparently would be a holding call on the sweeping against Fort Knox.
Tried to sweep that time to Craig Dick's side, and he just, the tackle tried to block him, and he just completely controlled the tackle in front of him, went right down the line of scrimmage, and when the back cut up, he was right there and made a tackle. I think they were holding our end out there. A while ago when they run that play, I really felt like that they had a hold and didn't get it called. That time they called it, and I think that's what happened. They was holding Todd Stein.
The holding penalty will push Fort Knox back to the 30-yard line. It'll give them the down over, but it's 1st and 20. Clock says there's roughly 3 minutes to go in this first half of play. Knox with a 3-point lead at 10-7. Wideouts, 2 of them to the right side. 2 backs behind Bostic. Back. He'll hold it up, then pulls it back down, sweeps right. He's looking downfield. He's past the line of scrimmage. He'll hang on to it, and is brought down at the 35-yard line. Calgar and Haley are over there for the stop. And just about at the line of scrimmage, Bostic raised up like he's going to throw it again. And
it was a little different play than you see. He went back, and I don't know whether he missed the draw. It looked like they had the draw set up, and I don't know whether he didn't get it in there or it was a fake draw, and then he bootlegged it. He got out and got 5 yards. As you say, when he went across the line of scrimmage, he faked the pass, but it was if he'd have thrown that, it would have been a penalty.
Watching a film on Wednesday of Fort Knox, and Bostic does that a great deal when he's going to not pass the ball and he goes back. He drops back and puts the ball way up in the air. Coach Burnett for Fort Knox gets a timeout with 2 minutes, 4 seconds to go in the first half of play. Fort Knox 10, Mayfield 7. Fort Knox with the ball at their own 35-yard line, facing a 2nd and 15. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Off running, because he's a 6'2", 190-pounder, Roth, and he's a good athlete, got good speed, and they were more worried about him scrambling than him throwing.
Wide out to the right side, and a slot to the right side. Bostic has a man in motion. That's a fullback. Bostic will hand it on the inside counter into Dingle, and Dingle is hit in the backfield by Chad Haley.
Cardinals had a great stun on that time. They tried to get us going one way with the inside counter to the slot back, coming back inside, and they faked the pitch, tried the inside trap, and we were stunning up the middle, had a perfect call on, and threw him for at least a 5-yard loss.
3rd down and long for Fort Knox. Timeout being asked for by Mayfield with 1:54 to go in this first half of play. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. We're back to action. 3rd down and 17 for Fort Knox. Bostic's going to hand it off up the middle to Homer. He'll dive over the 35 to the 37-yard line, and it'll be 4th down and about 14, but it's punting time. Clock moving at 1:43, so Fort Knox will probably take their time coming to the line of scrimmage unless the Cardinals stop the clock with a timeout.
Well, Cardinals jumped into what they call our 55 defense then, which is a pass rush type defense. They crossed us up a little bit, but good job in there, but both of our tackles slant down, and Ronnie Coles takes care of the middle. I think the Cardinals are really going to come after this.
Got 10 men on the line. They're on the way in there, and they do not get to the ball, and they are called for roughing the kicker. And Fort Knox will get another chance at it because the 15-yard penalty will get them about a yard or 2 more than they needed.
Well, that wasn't a bad deal. We all out to come right there. It was only 1:09, and the thing happened was that we tried a little bit too hard. You got to make an angle not right at the kicker. I know number 28 Bostic is limping very bad. They really nailed him, and it was unintentional, but that could be really a blow for this Fort Knox ball club because he's really walking gingerly on that ankle. But still, it's not a bad call. It gives them a 1st down, but there's only 1:09 to go, and they're going to be in at midfield at best. So, we're still in good shape. But if we'd have blocked it, we'd had a chance to put something on the board before the half, and I think very good call.
Kind of blows my theory there. I thought Fort Knox probably just take a delay of game just to eat some more time off the clock, which that would have put them out of Beyond 15 yards. But is that penalty an automatic first
It's automatic.
down? Oh, okay.
It's
so
automatic.
It would have given him first down.
It didn't make any difference, yeah.
Okay. And as it is 1st and 10 Fort Knox. They are now at the Mayfield 49-yard line. Minute to go in the first half. Bostic, the quarterback, is going to hand it off at the middle. And that is Homer. He doesn't go anywhere. Somebody had him by the leg or ankles, and the rest of them pull him down. That's Ronnie Coles and Cephas Tyler.
They had a little X-stun on right there at the hole. It was a perfect call again by the defensive coaches, and they certainly they look like they have Fort Knox scouted well. It's almost impossible to run at that stunt right there, and they held him for no gain. A good job by Cephas.
30 seconds to go in this half of play. Fort Knox seems to be content. They'll hand off. The ball is loose. Cephas Tyler threw Bostic down as he was trying to hand it off. Who got the ball? I have yet to see a signal, but it would appear that if that's the case, it'll be Fort Knox's ball. It is.
Cephas almost took the handoff
Just
that
about.
time. They're really having a problem with that little X-stun up the middle. Fort Knox is a very young ball club, and it looks like that they're really not expecting the Cardinals to stunt that much. And, boy, I'm telling you, that time the ball went up in the air. We had a chance at it, but Cephas was back there before the quarterback even handed the ball off. He caused the fumble.
Fort Knox takes a timeout as the clock was down to just 7 seconds remaining in the first half. Fort Knox leads Mayfield 10-7 here at War Memorial Stadium in this 2A semifinal game. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
I don't think you're going to see them do much here, tell you the truth. They may throw a Hail Mary, but I don't know. No, that's what I thought.
Oh, no.
That's what I thought they'd do. Just kill that clock.
On the final play of the first half, they'll hand off to Derek Homer. He'll go off left tackle, pick up about 5 yards, and that's the end of the first half. It's 10-7. Fort Knox leads Mayfield in this 2A semifinal football game under the lights here at War Memorial Stadium on a cold, damp Friday afternoon, day after Thanksgiving. We'll be back with a look at the first half scoring and a little analysis from Jack Morris, and also Russ Buchanan will give us some halftime stats. All that coming up during intermission. Back in 2 minutes. They'll set the clock here, as you probably heard the horn then. Homer, the freshman, back to return it. Might be a good idea to keep it out of his hands. Also back there with him, Dingle. And let's see who the other back is back there. That's Orr. Kick's going to be taken by the up back at the 25. He slid down at the 30. And, yeah, they'll say his knee hit the ground at about the 32-yard line. That's Sousa with the carry.
You know, caught a little break there as he caught the ball. He slipped down, and, you know, that's as deep as we've, you know, had him back on the kickoff. It was a very short kick, and like I say, he would have got probably at least 5 more, maybe 10 more. But, you know, we got pretty good field position, really, for this type of field.
Fort Knox takes over at the 31-yard line. Wide out to the right side. Terry King. Bostic, the quarterback, is the wishbone behind him. He'll hand off to the side, and slicing through there is Chad Haley throwing. I'm not really sure who was running the ball at the time. It was Homer. Threw him for a 2 to 3 yard loss.
Well, the Cardinals really come out going to put the stunts on. They feel like that they can't get outside. They feel like that they can't throw the football. And so they're going to let them linebackers loose up the middle. And then, boy, that worked well there. They've got them in a hole right now.
Second down and about 13. Haley and Cephas Tyler really been making some important plays. Bostic, the quarterback, going to hand it off up the middle to Homer. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he'll fight forward for maybe a yard pickup. So it'll be 3rd and about a dozen for Fort Knox as the Cardinal defense comes out quite motivated.
Well, they really are, and this is what we wanted to do. This is exactly what you want to do. We want a big 3rd down play here. We hope we can hold them for no gain or very little gain, make them punt. We should get the ball back in very good field position if this happens.
Fort Knox has not punted on the evening, and let's see, I don't know if we got a stat on what their punter, who their punter is and what he'll do, but we'll worry about that when we get there. Bostic on the counter play hands it off, and that is Dingle. Dingle slid one tackler, but boy, a nice stop put on that time. Chris Calger with a great one-on-one tackle.
They run the little fullback to the right, little counter back with the right halfback going back to the left side, and opened a big hole, but Chris Calger was right there, made a good open field tackle for just a couple yard gain, and we did what we, you know, wanted to do on this first possession.
Calger and Bright are back to receive. There's the punt. It's a low liner. It's going to hit after about 10 yards and takes a roll into Fort Knox advantage. It rolls in such a fashion that none of the Cardinal backs are going to be able to come up and get it, but the Cardinals, again, have good field position at the 40. In fact, the kicking tee from the opening kickoff in the second half is finally removed from the field. Mayfield takes over 1st and 10 at the 40.
Very fortunate, Aaron Roth, Fort Knox was. He almost missed the ball. He kicked a punt about 20 yards high, and he just hit and scooted, and they got a good punt out of it, but they was very lucky.
1st and 10, Mayfield down by 3. Their first possession of the second half of play. Whaley on 1st down, hands it off to the side to Benjamin. Benjamin's got a lot of defenders out there, tries to cut it back upfield, and the ball is on the ground, and they say Fort Knox has it.
That's what we didn't want to happen right there. Now, Montez tried to slide outside that time. It looked like the Cardinal left halfback, Mikey Bride and Chad Haley, the fullback, had kicked the end out, and he tried to slide outside, and it wasn't there. He needed to cut it back. When he did decide to cut it back, it was too late. Someone come from the inside and knocked the ball loose as he was trying to spin away.
It is a big turnover, 1st down, Fort Knox at the Mayfield 41. Pitch to the right side to Homer, and Homer comes upfield. From behind, Ronnie Coles gets him, and then Chad Haley puts the frontal attack on him, and it's a pickup of only a couple of yards for Derek Homer on the 1st down carry.
Well, you know you're getting great nose guard play when you see your nose guard who plays directly over the center, and he makes the tackle on a sweep. Now, that's just a tremendous job. Ronnie got off the center's block, went right directly down the line of scrimmage, and made the tackle for a 1.5 yard gain.
It's 2nd down and about 8 for Fort Knox. The ball just the length of the football inside the 40. Handoff on the 1st down carry is the fullback, and that's, I believe that's the fullback,
right.
Mays. Mays pounds it down to about the 36-yard line, and that'll set up 3rd down and right at 5 yards to go.
Mays was hit at the line of scrimmage. Good defense right there. He's just such a strong kid that he carried us for about 2 extra yards and made it into a sizable 5-yard gain, but the defense was there. It was just a matter of that young man being a very powerful fullback.
That may be the key in this second half, where some of that quickness in the first half benefited Fort Knox. It may be the power game. On the handoff on 3rd and 5, right into the line of scrimmage goes Dingle, and right back on his rear end he goes as Cephas Tyler hits him high. Let's see who gets up from having him wrapped low. There's Todd Stein, Jeremy Hughes, and Ronnie Coles.
Boy, that's an excellent job right there at defense. They just completely dominated the offensive front 5 of the Fort Knox Eagles. The Cardinals got someone down right
it's
now.
Todd Stein, and don't know what the situation is, but they're taking Dr. Wayne Williams out on the field right now, taking a close look at him. And seems to be communicating with him, and here he comes up. He's all right. You always worry, and I don't mean to laugh when I say that, but you always worry about a neck injury in this game. But when they lift him up by his arms and he's supporting the full weight of his helmet and all the gear, you realize that that's not where the problem was. I think he's got his bell rung. He looks a little bit like doo-doo-doo-doo.
No.
Yeah. They do a fake punt. They'll hand it off, and number 9, who is Daryl Mayberry, he gets enough for the 1st down. They did a short snap on it, and Fort Knox, who quickly came on the field with that punt situation, gets the 1st down.
You know, that time I think the Cardinals were really expecting that. But the Fort Knox did such a great job. Chad Haley was scraping off to make the tackle, and they got a great block out there by one of their upbacks who helps block for the spread punt. That was a big 1st down, and now, you know, we need to really bow our neck right here. I think the Cardinals are really going to have to bow the neck.
1st and 10, Fort Knox at the Mayfield 27-yard line. It's a broken play. Bostic has to roll left. He's got people all around him. Bostic on his feet, and he is clobbered by Cephas Tyler, Craig Dick, and Jay Hargrove. But Cephas is the one that put the Howya on him.
Really nailed him right there. Boy, that was a big mistake by the Knox offense right there. It looked like Bostic called a play and to the right, but he turned out to the left side. No one to take the football, and then, he made a mistake right there. Anytime that happens, the quarterback should just turn, try to get his shoulders back upfield, and try to get it back to the line of scrimmage. That time he tried to run around and lost about 5 yards.
A week or two ago, we saw, I guess it was a week or two ago, we saw the quarterback turn and follow where the play was supposed to go after he realized his mistake. On the second down handoff, it's Dingle, and Dingle goes nowhere. We got a flag right in the middle of the pile. From the Cardinal standpoint, we hope it is on Fort Knox. A late flag, though. That's a spooky one.
Come in from the umpire like it could have been a hold, and I don't know here. A face mask.
Ooh. It was going to be third down and about 15. Now it's going to be probably right at 1st and 10. Or it'll be second and very short.
Boy, that was a costly penalty right there. It was a late flag, and I was afraid that's what it was instead of the holding that you normally see that umpire throw. Right there, it's a first down, 1st and 10 on about the 17-yard line. Now, boy, the Cardinals are really going to have. We can't give up more than in the kind of conditions it is. We certainly don't need to give up more than a field goal right here, or a field goal attempt. So the Cardinal defense has really got to bow their neck right now.
1st and 10 at the 18, make it 17-yard line. Fort Knox right now with the ball. 6:20 to go, third quarter. Knox leads 10-7. Sorry, we didn't give you the score often. Bostic hands it off at the middle. Boy, Homer's been hit, still on his feet, and he goes down finally after a loss of about 2. I'm going to take again. Cephas Tyler?
Cephas Tyler hit him and didn't wrap up. He knocked him straight back, and the kid is only a freshman. He kept his feet some way, and we had to make the tackle on around the corner there. And we did that. We did a good job, but boy, Cephas really nailed him about a yard deep in the backfield, knocked him straight backwards. He didn't wrap it up, but still, he really messed the play up.
A loss of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 13. The Cardinal defense rocking and socking. Handoff up the middle. Tyler runs over one guy, but the handoff is the second back. That is Dingle. And Dingle may have gotten a yard. And I guess Homer's glad he didn't get the ball again because Cephas Tyler just smashed him, then realized he didn't have the ball and pursued on over.
Boy, it was a great hit up in there, and then they pulled it out and give it to the second back. It's a good thing they did. I don't think he could have held on to the football. 3rd and long right here.
Todd Stein back out on the field, so whatever ailed him is okay. Watkins had come in to spell him, and Chris had done a big job and a gutsy job in helping out. It's 3rd and 13, wide out right side, long count. We've got flags everywhere, and I'm presuming that it'll be on the Fort Knox team for illegal procedure. So it'll be 3rd and about 18.
Well, I'm really glad it was. That time he faked the counter play up in the middle. The quarterback Bostic did, and he was going to roll out, and he was outside of our end, and I don't know what was going to happen, whether he was going to run it or throw it. He had a receiver down the field. I don't believe he was open, but he may have had some pretty good running room, Roth. So that was blown dead just after the ball was snapped, and it was kind of a break for the Cardinals. It was I'm just glad they didn't get that play off because it did look like it might make some yardage.
Often, Jack, when something like that happens, do you come back with the same play that you had?
No, I don't think so. I think the Cardinal end will be looking for that right now. I think he'll completely change right now.
Pair of wideouts to the right side, and then get that extra man off the field. Back to pass is Bostic. Bostic has wrapped up and thrown for a loss by Todd Stein, who moments ago, scarily late on the field, went out and came back in, and now it is 4th and a mile, and they will not be in field goal position, and I guess at this point they're just going to go for it. I don't see the punter coming on the field.
I don't believe they're going to. That you got 2 lines of thought there. You punt the ball, you might be able to get in the coffin corner, but I think they're going to go right now. Great job of the Cardinal defense so far in this series because, it got them. They were in field goal range down there when they started this on the 17-yard line. Now they're on about the 28-yard line.
It's 4th and 20. Coming on the handoff, it is Homer. Homer is tackled after a 2-yard pickup, and let's set the stage for you. Cephas Tyler hit Bostic, the quarterback, and he just had a super effort to get the ball to Homer because Cephas Tyler was already drilling him into the muddy turf.
Boy, the Cardinals have really started stunning right now, and Fort Knox is just having a terrible time trying to pick up the stunt. That's about the third time in a row Tyler has went through untouched. And, your offensive linemen, they have to keep their heads up and pick that up, and they're not doing that. And if we can just get something going right here, I think we can win this football game.
3:30 to go in the third quarter. 3-point lead for Fort Knox. Handoff is to Mikey Bright on the first down carry. He'll pick up about 6 yards, and that'll set up second down and around 4 for the Cardinals near the 34-yard line.
Good job over there on the right side by Jay Hargrove and Jeremy Hughes and Walker, Justin Walker. They just moved the whole right side out. Both backs led up off tackle, and Mikey just went over for about an easy 6 yards.
Second down and 4 for the Cardinals at the 34-yard line. Good situation here. The cornerbacks drop back a little bit, so the Cardinals will run it to the left side, running it strong past the 35 to about the 37 is Montez Benjamin. And Chris Calger. No, Montez.
That's Montez.
Okay.
Good job again. The Cardinal offensive line now is really asserting themselves. They're coming off the ball. That's what we want to do right there. Just plenty of time in this football game. We need one of those 6, 7, 8-minute drives down there and put one in. And look like they're just lining down right now and saying, hey, we're going to knock you out of there.
Third down and about a yard for the Cardinals to get a first down. The ball's at the 37-yard line. 3-point Fort Knox lead. Bright has it going around right in. Bright still on his feet. Slips a tackler. He's loose at the 50. Bright knocked down at the 43-yard line of Fort Knox. And again, it looked like Mikey Bright was going to really have to turn it and fight it to get a first down, and he picks up about 18 yards.
He really did. He got hit right at the line of scrimmage, and there's the advantage of being a very strong, big back. There's not many backs right there would have made anything. They'd have been knocked down for no gain. He just he's so strong in his legs and upper body. He just kept going and made a no-gainer into about an 18-yard gain.
It's 1st and 10 Mayfield at the 43-yard line. 2 minutes to go, third quarter. They are in the side of the field of Fort Knox. Benjamin gets the pitch on the left side, splits through a couple of blockers and tacklers and gets to the 40. We do have a flag in the middle of the field, and those usually bode bad numbers for the offense.
The umpire threw the flag. I'm afraid it was on a backside lineman over there. I noticed Fort Knox clapping, and I'm afraid they called that on one of our backside linemen, where it really made no difference. It's a holding call, and I don't know who against, but that's a big penalty right there.
2 minutes to go in the third quarter of play. Mayfield will have another first down, but it'll be 1st and 20.
25, I guess. It's a 15-yarder, isn't it? Is there 10? 10, yeah, it's 10.
And takes the ball back across midfield to about the 47-yard line. So the Cardinals have really had things going against them in this half. They had Fort Knox on a fake a punt and get a first down, and then they had a face mask penalty in that drive, but were able to keep Fort Knox out of the end zone and off the board. Now trying to get their own offensive team alive, facing a 1st and 20. Back to pass, looking into the left flats. He's got his man. That is Bright. Bright's at the 40. Bright ridden out of bounds, sliding into the mud at the 35-yard line, and that's a pickup of 18 yards. So the Cardinals quickly come out of that nasty 1st and 20 and looking at a 2nd and 2.
Just a good job right there. Good fake by Russell Whaley to the back like we were running the off-tackle play. Pulled it out. Calger run the defensive back off, and Mikey Bright slipped out into the flat, caught it for about a 5-yard gain, and then run about 13 more to make an 18-yard gain for us.
2nd down and 2 now for the Cardinals at the 35-yard line of Fort Knox. Wishbone is behind Whaley. He'll go to the right side, hands it to Bright. Bright's got some blockers in front of him with a good mark. Should have enough for the first down, but we'll have to wait just a moment before we get a little overconfident on that. They're sighting and spotting and bringing the chains on, so even the guys on the field can't tell you. 1:28 to go in the third quarter of play. Still notched here at 10-7, Fort Knox with the lead. That's the way it's been since the midway of the second quarter. And we're just about at the end of the third quarter of play. Chains are out on the field. One of the captains, Craig Dick, is standing up there, and he's standing in the way. It's going to be just a hair short. It'll set up third down Looks like maybe a foot for the Cardinals to go. Russell Whaley runs towards the sidelines. Paul Leahy meets him out there about 5 yards, gives him the play call, and probably a few little things to consider as he goes out on the field. Here's an opportunity here with the third and real short to maybe throw it, but then again, it's, you know what the defense is expecting, and you know what the situation is, but you also look at the scoreboard, sees you're behind. Handoff up the middle. Haley gets hit immediately, but is just continuing to fight forward and has more than enough for the first down.
Boy, he got hit just as soon as he got the football, and he straightened him up, but he's so strong in his legs, he bounced to the outside and picked up another yard for the first down.
Minute 9 to go in this third quarter of play. Mayfield, 1st and 10, 31-yard line of Fort Knox, trailing by 3 points. Notice Carson Graham's been pacing the sidelines, been keeping that leg loose. He realizes his foot could be the thing to bring the Cardinals back even if the drive stalls. 1st and 10, handoff left side. Ooh, hit in the backfield and thrown for a loss was Montez Benjamin. Coming through for Fort Knox, Jeremy Parham from, I think, a defensive lineman's position. It'll be second down and about a dozen yards as the Cardinals had a breakdown on that carry.
They really did. They got penetration from inside, and you know, Fort Knox has been having trouble with the penetration that our defense has been given. We had the same thing happen. We got penetration that time on an off-tackle play, and you know, it just shouldn't happen.
Parham is one of those wide tackles in that wide tackle 6 alignment. Man in motion to the right side. Last play of the third quarter. Looking quickly, he'll throw out the right flats to Bright. Bright gets a block, but good pursuit that time by Knox, getting out there quickly and breaking Bright down at the 30. That's the end of the third quarter. When we come back to begin the fourth quarter, the Cardinals trail by 3. They'll be facing a third down and about 7. We'll come back to War Memorial Stadium right after this 30-second timeout. With the ball at the Fort Knox 30-yard line, trailing 10-7 as we begin the fourth quarter of play. They'll be faced with a third down and about 9. And Jack, we are maybe not necessarily in 4-down territory as much as we are in a 4-down situation here going into the fourth quarter.
Well, this is, this is an awfully big series. I know there's still plenty of time, but this series right here, we're down on the 30-yard line. We got, we got thrown for a loss. It was really a tough situation. We need to pick up about 9 yards in 2 plays, and certainly not in field goal range right now.
We've always talked about how important it is to get yardage on first down. It's how hurtful it is when you don't get yardage on first down or lose yardage as we did. 3rd and 9 for the Cardinals. Whaley has a power I formation, long count. We've got offsides, and it looks like it's going to be against Fort Knox. And that time, I think it was a design situation for Russ Whaley just to come up the line of scrimmage and just give a couple of quick chants. It is against Fort Knox, so a big mental mistake by Fort Knox that time, and kind of a little strategy there by the Cardinals.
Well, it was a great call right there, and Russell pulled them offside. Now, instead of 3rd and 9, we're 3rd and 5, so we need 2.5 yards each play, and that's a lot different than having to average 4.5 yards. So it really helped.
We kind of had some bad things go against us in that last Fort Knox series. We were able to recover and hold them out of the end zone. Let's see if that little 5-yard penalty helped us out. Handoff to Bright. Bright slips a tackler, slips another tackler. He's at the 15. Bright's on his feet at the 5, down to the 3-yard line.
All right, just a great job.
Great run, big hole, and the Cardinals are 3 yards away from retaking the lead.
Well, there's a great block out there. We got great blocking on the left side from Chris Morris and Craig Dick, and also Chris Calger. They just opened a gaping hole on that left side over there, and Mikey just bulled his way. He had about a 7-8 yard pickup before anyone hit him, and then he carried him down to about the 3. This is really important now that we get this thing in. We need to, pop it up in there with our big backs here, and I think that's what you're going to see. Straight stuff and get it in.
1st and goal from the 3-yard line. The handoff to Bright on the right side. He looks inside, turns it wide to the outside, and gets his 2nd touchdown of the day. Bright comes over to the sidelines, just kind of looks up at the Cardinal fans. And and says, let's go, folks. We're ahead 13-10 as Mikey Bright carries it in from 3 yards out.
Well, the Knox defense was really stacked inside, looking for our fullback Chad Haley to hit it up in there. We faked to Chad, we give it to Mikey off tackle, and our whole offensive line just knocked him inside, and he just slid outside and could walk in the end zone.
Here goes an important extra point. Calgary to hold. Snaps a little high. The placement's good. It is not going to be good. So the Cardinals' lead stays at just 3, 13-10, as Carson did not get enough foot underneath it to get that backspin. So the Cardinal defense is going to have a little extra duty here, and that is to keep them not only out of the end zone, but also out of field goal range. 11:30 to go. Mayfield back on top by a slim 3 at 13-10. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay. Mark Powell's kickoff skips at the 18-yard line. Coming up the middle is Homer. Woohoo! What a hit! Who else? Cephas Tyler. Cephas. He doesn't know where he is. He's so fired up. He's stomping around out on the field.
Well, a great hit right there. You have to give Fort Knox's.
Oh! I wish we had a replay on that one just to go over that one more time. But what a hit! Yeah, it'll be on our highlights tomorrow morning on the Coach's Corner. What a hit.
It really was.
That does a bunch to really pump up your defensive team. Not only has their offense come out and put them ahead, now their defense has said, hey, let's try to up that one time. Handoff up the middle. The fullback is stuffed and will be thrown for a loss of 2.
Ronnie Coles was just right there, Roth. He just met the fullback head on right down the middle and threw him. You know, when your nose guard throws them for a yard loss, you know the center's not blocking very well. And Ronnie's completely controlling it.
Fort Knox will be facing the 2nd and 12 at the 25-yard line. And I think that defense right now probably could run through a brick wall or two, especially if they thought Cephas was going to get there first, because he has really put some hits that have really spurred this team. Quick pitch to the right side, sweeping the right side and out to the 33-yard line. I think we got a new running back in there or a cleaner jersey.
Number 33,
no,
I believe.
43.
Was it 43?
43. That is Jeffrey Mitchell.
Well, he turned it up nice. Got his shoulders parallel. It was like on the quick pitch and really did the job.
He'll pick up about 7 on that, and that'll set up 3rd down and 5 for Fort Knox at the 32-yard line.
Big play for the Cardinals right here. We need to, we can hold them right here. They got a punt. We're going to get good field position. 9:58 to go in the ball game with a 3-point lead. We need to really stop them right now.
Bostic, 3rd and 5, hands off up the middle to Homer, and Homer is hit at the line of scrimmage, and he may not even have made it to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down, and Fort Knox will have to punt it away. And the Cardinals unpile a huge pile of defenders. Dick, Haley, and Tyler among those that are there.
Right, just everybody in the middle right there. Cold, the front 3 just dominated the offensive line of Fort Knox that time. The linebackers cleaned up.
Fort Knox has not gone to the air today except on one pass from a halfback. Snaps a little high. Bostic, a big 6'3" guy, pulls it in. Knuckleball punt, hits and stops at the 50. Just a perfect golf shot if you're trying to check it up on a green. Stops right at the 50-yard line. Took about 2 small bounces on this soggy field.
Now all we need to do, Roth, we need to really control that clock. Start looking at it. Use our full time. Don't get in and out of the huddle too quick. And, get some first downs. This is what we're looking at right now. And it'd be great if we can just take that thing right on down and get the 10-point lead.
9:09. Make it 9 minutes now to go in the ball game. Mayfield ahead 13-10 after that scoring drive a moment ago. Got Benjamin wide to the right side. The power backs are Haley and Bright, and there's a first down handoff to Bright. Bright has slipped tackle after tackle. Bright's on his feet at the 30, cutting back across the field. He is gone. Montez Benjamin put the clinching block on a young man at the 20-yard line. He drilled him into the ball field. Only one player left. Bright is over in the stands with the Cardinal faithful right now as they come out on the field. And Mayfield has streaked from 3 down to 9 ahead, and on the field, Carson Graham to try to make it a 10-point lead.
Boy, that was a big play right there. He just, I tell you what, if you don't stop Mikey at the line of scrimmage, Roth, you really got problems, because defensive backs have, just not big enough, most of them, to bring him down. So that was a great job of blocking. I think our offensive line has really asserted himself here in this into the third quarter and start of this fourth quarter. We just completely knocking them out of there now. That was a big hole. Then Mikey got up in there on the outside and then cut it back. The safety tried to put the brakes on, make the tackle. His feet slipped out from under him, and he was gone when that happened.
There's a timeout on the field for Fort Knox. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 8:38 to go in the ball game. Cardinals up by 9 at 19-10. And I'm not sure what the I said Fort Knox called the timeout. I'm not sure if we didn't. We called the timeout, and I believe we're going to go for 2. As Carson Graham comes off the field, and I thought that might be the situation where the Cardinals are saying let's make this a 3, where they would have to get a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal to tie.
Well, I think the field position or condition has something to do with this too.
9-point lead, and back on the handoff. No, it's going to be a pass out in the flats, and there is Montez Benjamin hauls it in. Both he and Hargrove were there, and I'm not sure there was a defender close enough to either one of them. So the Cardinals get the 2-point conversion and lead 21-10. And Mayfield has really laid it on here in the last few minutes of play. Very, very crucial couple of series that the Cardinals have had here in their last 2 possessions with the 2 touchdowns. And Jack Morris's team looked like they're fairly hungry to get back to Louisville.
They really are. And, of course, the defense is, just completely whipped Knox in this second half. We give up a couple of big plays in the first half. We haven't given up anything in this half, and the offensive line has just completely dominated them in this last 8-10 minutes of this ball game. That's what you have to do, is whip people in the line. We've done that so far, and now we hope that the defense does exactly the same thing that they've been doing. Knox is really having trouble with the stunt. Cephas Tyler has made a bunch of tackles up in there on the stunt.
I just wonder if any running back is going to want to hold on to this ball. Cephas is going to drop back to play a little safety on this one. Coming up the middle is Homer. Homer splits up the middle and is out to about the 34-yard line, where Fort Knox will take over. But the clock says 8:30 remaining in the game, and the Cardinals are now up 21-10 on the scoreboard with touchdowns in their last 2 possessions. 2
touchdowns is a lot to score on this field right now, so the Cardinals are in good shape. What we don't want to do now is just give them anything quick and, make them earn everything that they get, and I think we'll be in good shape.
Bostic, the quarterback, hadn't been as much of a threat as thought. He hands in the backfield, and there is Homer. Homer has Tyler around his legs in the backfield. Craig Dick
cleans up.
And Haley are also back there.
Again, Tyler back in the backfield. They tried the quick pitch to the wide side of the field, and Tyler scraped outside, made the tackle, held him up, and then Craig Dick cleaned up on the tackle.
21-10. Mayfield trailed by 3 at halftime. Now lead by 11 on the strength of 2 touchdowns. 2nd and 12. Bostic tries to throw it up over the middle. Got it to his man at the 40-yard line. That is King. And it'll set up 3rd down and about a little bit over 3 yards, right at 3 yards to go. So
it was amazing even that Bostic got it off. Again, we had the stun on, and they tried to pick Cephas up. They got a piece of him, but he was holding on the quarterback when he threw that, and that was just a quick slant, and he still almost got to the quarterback.
Bostic at 6'3", 190 pounds, is as big a strong quarterback as we've seen this year, maybe in the state of Kentucky. Tyler again stating to come through there. Handoff is to number 43, I believe. That is Jeffrey Mitchell, who's come into play. Mitchell got nothing on the 3rd and 3, and it's going to be 4th down for Fort Knox, and about 3 yards to go. And now a big call for Coach Burnett of Fort Knox.
Nice play there. The Cardinals ran an 8-man front and had Chris Morris in the lineup. Now the strong safety's coming back in to take his place, but Chris was right there, made the tackle. The Cardinals now are going to a 4-deep secondary on this 4th down situation.
It's 4th and 3, and Fort Knox is going for it. They trail by 11. Pitch out to the right side. The ball's loose on the ground. It doesn't make any difference who gets on it. When the ball is down, it's the Cardinal ball at the 36-yard line.
Well, what happened then, Fort Knox tried to run the quick pitch, and he hit the fullback who tried to go in front, hit him, knocked the ball on the ground, and the Cardinals got on it. It didn't, like you said, Roth, it didn't make any difference who got on it. It was going to be our football because it happened in the backfield, and they didn't have the first down.
So Mayfield up by 11 takes over with 6 minutes to go in the ball game. And right now with an 11-point lead, are just probably one good slow possession like we talked about a moment ago. Of course, they ran it in on the first play from 50 yards out. We'll take either of those scenarios to send us back to Louisville for a 3rd shot at Danville. Handoff to Bright. He's in the backfield and is hit and thrown for a loss of about a yard.
That's all right. Just want to take care of the football now. We want to, use all we can use. Of course, Knox is up in there right now. It's very hard to run against that right now. We picked up the stunt on the left side and didn't pick it up on the side we were running to. But, it's almost impossible the way they're running people up in there right now to pick it up. But the Cardinals don't care. They certainly don't want to put the ball in the air or on the ground right now. We just want the clock running at 5:27 and use as much clock as we can.
Mayfield 21-0 over Fort Knox. Trailed at halftime by 3 for the first time since the Paducah-Tillman game. Handoff up the middle. That is Montez Benjamin, and he follows a bevy of blockers down to the 32-yard line. Nice pickup. Clock's moving. It'll be under 5 minutes when the next play comes to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had 8 people up there under the line of scrimmage, and we still knocked them out of their offensive line. Is just completely dominating this football game right now. A great job right there. Picked up about 6 yards. Knox knows we're not going to throw it. We're just trying to kill the clock, and we're still moving the football. That's a sign of a good offensive line when you can do that, and hard running backs.
3rd down and 6. Benjamin's wide right. Haley and Bright are behind Whaley. We have a flag finally. We had the whistles.
I think we had someone jump. Yeah, no, we had someone jump, didn't we, Roth, before the snap? Or was it too much
delay
time?
Of game.
Too much time.
So the Cardinals will come to the line of scrimmage now. 4.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Mayfield leads by 11. It'll be 3rd down and about 11 yards to go.
All right, this clock will start even after a penalty. Now we need to look at the clock. We need to use all of our 25 seconds before we snap that football. We're not starting it. I think after a penalty, I thought they would start the clock. 4:34, and we just need to keep that clock running.
At the line of scrimmage, Russell Whaley. Got a wide out Benjamin to the right side. The backs are in close behind him, looking like he's going to drop back to throw. He does. Looks over the middle. Got protection. There's his man. Ooh, Bright. Open in the middle of the field. Led him just about a yard too long. But he was wide open right across the middle of the field at the 20. So 4th down and 11 for Mayfield. The ball is at the 38-yard line. Whaley comes over and talks with Coach Paul Leahy and Assistant Coach Joe Morris.
Well, I think, what we want to do, of course, we're not going to punt the football. You take a chance on it, especially on a field like this, of getting a bad snap or a slip. So we're going to try, we've got the ball back and down in their end of the field anyway, so we're going to try to keep the clock running here. And
on the sideline, David Morris has his defenders all huddled in there together, giving them some instructions about what they'll be facing. We have another delay of game call against the Cardinals. And, of course, in that scenario, the clock wasn't moving, but the amount of time you can take to get a play off does continue to clock. 4th down and 16. Mayfield.
I think they're going to punt the football. I think it's a good idea. If we just tell him to get it out there, club it out there, you don't want anything, you don't need a great punch. You just need to kick the ball down inside the 20-yard line, kick 25, 30-yard punts all. Get rid of it quick. Good pass, maximum pass or punt blockage. And if you can do that, then we'll be in good shape.
Key here's for a snap and a good punt. And that is indeed a good one. It's a high hanger, and it hits and is bobbled at the 5. Running backwards is King. King is upended and taken down at the 7-yard line. Calger's there, Stein is there, and Kemp is there, and the Cardinals have put Fort Knox a long way away from the end zone, and with 4 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the game, they need 2 touchdowns.
All right, that's a good job right there. That put them back. They got to go a long, long way. They got to go about, 92 yards or 93 yards for a touchdown, only 413, and they got to do it twice. So the Cardinals will come out of there, and they'll probably step back out of there, just try to give them the short gain and not let them break anything.
Handoff up the middle to Homer. He'll pop it out past the 10-yard line. I'll stand corrected. That's number 43, Jeffrey Mitchell. And his pickup is going to be about 3 yards on the first down carry. Well, we've got Ruiz coming in, who has played a quarterback. He's also, since he got moved out of quarterback position a few weeks ago, has played a wideout. Still have Bostic at quarterback. He'll drop to the left side, looks up the middle, got away from one defender, and is tackled by Craig Dick, coming over defensively and throws him down at the 10-yard line for a yard loss.
Cephas Tyler come from an outside stun and missed the tackle, but he forced him out of the pocket and give Craig a chance to run him down. And boy, you don't see many 270-pound tackles can run a quarterback down. 3rd
down and 8 for Fort Knox. Back to pass, looks over the middle, throws it out there and overthrew his man. And it'll be 4th down and 8 for Fort Knox, and things are running out for Fort Knox, and the Cardinals are about ready to head to a nice warm shower and start making plans for a trip to Louisville.
Right, and of course, this is a great situation for you. Your defense has come back in this second half and just dominated. The offensive line has done the same thing, and we totally took over in the middle of the 3rd quarter and all of the 4th quarter. It's been all Mayfield.
4th and 8 at the 10-yard line. Fort Knox will go for it. Rolling right is Bostic. He's got pressure. He's in the end zone, throws it out in the flats and throws it away. Again, the defense. Coles, Hughes, who else? Cephas Tyler, of course, is back there. Whether he's supposed to be or not, you got to feel Cephas is going to the ball.
He really is. He's had a, Cephas has kind of been beat out a little bit and earlier in the year, and they wasn't real well pleased with the way that he had been playing. And boy, in this game, it'd be hard to get him out of that lineup now. The 2 sophomores are playing that linebacker, and they've got a great job out of both those young men.
Tell you what, I just saw. He came off the field, Cephas did, and Alonzo Daniel comes up, the man who he replaced in that defensive position today, and gave him a big old bear hug. So this is a team victory here today, and everybody's had to do their parts. Handoff to Bright on the first down carry at the 10. He gets hit at about the 9, and that's about it. And the clock continues to roll at 2:45 to go in the ball game. Mayfield up 21-10, and they'll be facing with a 2nd and goal from about the 9.5-yard line. Clock moving at 2.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Whaley had come over to the sidelines and gotten a play call. 2:20 to go. Mayfield up 21-10. Danville, of course, favored in the other 2A game. There's a handoff to Haley, and Haley is into the end zone for it. Oh, give it to him at the foot line.
Boy, that was close.
And a big boo comes up from the Cardinal crowd downstairs.
They just run the fullback right straight up the middle, and they run it against a split. It's tough to run up in there. You know when you can run that play against 4 defensive people right in the middle, that your offensive line up in there, you got Walker and Oliver and Chris Morris just opening big holes.
3rd and goal from the 1. This is a Chad Haley call, I bet. There he goes. He gets hit and gets driven back, so it'll be 4th and goal.
Well, Chad tried to go up, and they really loaded the middle that time. There was about 5 people lined up in the middle, and really in a normal situation, you probably in that situation Russell would have changed off. But with 1:18, we're leading 21-10. You don't care. You just want to run the clock.
We probably lost about a length of a football on that play. 4th and goal. Mayfield up by 11 points, and the clock is now at a minute to go in the ball game. Whaley under center. Hands it off. Haley pounds it. No, hands it wide to the outside, and that's Bright going in for another touchdown. His 4th touchdown of the day for Mikey Bright, and his 3rd here in this 4th quarter. And Mayfield up 27-10, and Carson Graham comes out. And I think Carson really wants this one, Jack.
Yeah.
He's had a pretty tough day at the kick.
He really has. He's had a tough day, and of course, you know, it bears on your mind a little bit playing on a field like this. Sometimes the field's not as bad as you think it is, but you think you're going to slip. And this really, you just got to go over and put all that out of your mind and kick through the ball.
Calgar to hold. Good placement. Nice kick right up the middle for the Carson Graham, and I think that really pumped him too. The Cardinals are up 28-10 in a ball game that really looked spooky at halftime, and the Cardinals have come out here and simply dominated this second half in every aspect. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Three seconds left to go. Mark Powell will kick off. Cardinals will go back to Louisville, Kentucky. The squib kick coming right up the middle. It's still on the ground, and the young man goes down and downs it at about the 18-yard line. That's number 10, Lovell Orr, and Fort Knox takes over at the 18 with 50 seconds to go in the ball game. I think that was as much no sense going up there and getting killed when you're down by 18 points.
Well, this has been a great effort in the second half of the Cardinal offensive and defensive units. They've just, it hadn't been just one. The defense is totally dominated in the second half. The offense is pretty much dominated as well from the middle of the 3rd quarter on.
2 wide outs to the right side. Quick pitch to the right side. That's Mitchell. Mitchell cuts it back up the middle of the field and is out to about the 23-yard line. Clock's moving at 20 seconds to go in the ball game. That, let's see. Fort Knox is going to come to the line of scrimmage and try to get an extra play off. Mayfield wins 28-10 over Fort Knox. Bostic back to pass. He's got Craig Dick in his face to finish the game.
That was. I bet he wished he'd have never called that play. That was unbelievable right there. Craig Dick, all 270 pounds of him. My goodness gracious. He stopped. He ran the sprint out to the right. Craig come from the right defensive tackle. And then when he stopped to throw, he turned. Craig hit him right under the chin with a headgear, and that young man has to be tough to even get up.
I think you called it right. I'm sure he wished he wouldn't have taken that last snap. But that kind of epitomizes what this second half was like. Every time a Fort Knox player turned around, he had somebody knocking him into the ground as the Cardinals came out and exerted themselves. And when you talk of home field advantage, I got a feeling that Fort Knox realized that they spent most of this second half on the field with some just tremendously impressive contact made here in the second half. We've got a recap of this ball game, Jack Morris's point of view. I'll recap the scoring, and we got a ton of it to talk about here for the Cardinals in the second half. And then we'll steal a few of those final game stats from Russ Buchanan before we go off the air today. The Cardinals are back to Louisville next Friday afternoon. Their opponent will be the winner of the Danville game. Who do they play today, Jack?
Danville plays Prestonburg, and it's no lock. You know, Prestonburg, I think, is 13-0. Both those football teams are undefeated, and they have a great program up there. It's not an impossible situation, you know. We don't know. I think they play that game later today. So we got some scouts up there, but Prestonburg's a good football team. Roth, this ball game right here, I think, was no doubt about it. You can see right now that Fort Knox is running sprints after the ball game. I've never seen anything like that. But, you know, I think the coaches felt like the discipline had gone down at Fort Knox, and they run a sprint down to the end zone where you can talk to him. He has to be pleased with his ball club. But our football team in the first half was down. They come out. They completely dominated the offensive line in the second half, especially about midway through the 3rd quarter. We started dominating, and then getting Mikey into that secondary is what you have to do, because one person can't hardly bring him down. Dave Morris, the defensive coordinator, started really calling a lot of stunts, and they inserted the type of defense that they inserted was this split stunt right up the middle, and Fort Knox looked like they had never seen that stunt before. And Cephas Tyler just had a field day. I don't know how many hits he had, but I'm going to bet right now that he wins the tackling. He made a ton of tackles, and the defense just totally dominated. They couldn't get anything. I don't know. I think when Russ comes in here, you'll see in the second half that Fort Knox got very few yards. So, again, the defense and the offense, a lineman just totally dominated the second half of this ball game. And of course, when you do that, you're going to win the football game, and that's what we did.
I think a lot of things that, we talked about how things affect other players or the entire team. And I think some of the things that Cephas Tyler did, not only were they critical plays, but they really drew this team and excited the rest of the team defensively, and I think that rolled over to the offense, because the offense that didn't get over 100 yards in the first half really came out in the second half and had big gaping holes, and everything just kind of came together. And we've seen this team, Jack, go from a 2-3 record to where I'm sure that not only certain people in the community may have doubted it, they may have even thought, well maybe this is going to be a bad year, but I think you're seeing that it from that point, which was now some 8 games ago or 9 games ago now, that point they've continued to grow with each week.
They really have, and I think a lot of people are in the situation where they think that we don't have a chance against Danville, and any time, and I truly have said this in about the last 4 or 5 ball games, I think this is the best defensive football team that Mayfield has had. They don't have a weakness. They run well in the secondary. It's very hard to throw on them. Their defensive front 3 is just awesome. You're talking about people like Coles is 210 and very quick, and you got 2 defensive tackles, 250 and 270, that can all run. I've never remembered 2 Mayfield tackles that can run as well as these 2. Both defensive ends are playing very sound, got good quickness. Jay Hargrove, most improved football player on this team as far as I'm concerned, and then Chad Haley's developed into a tremendous linebacker. Great secondary. Secondary is very experienced with Calger and of course we got Calger and Mikey Bright, who started there last year. So this ball club, anytime you play that good a defense, you got a shot to be state champions, and I think a lot of our people don't realize that. So we want them to come up there and give a lot of support, because I think really and truly, I know we're not the greatest offensive team in West, in all over the state, but by golly, we're moving that football now and helping the defense, and we're getting a lot better. And of course, Russell Whaley has improved. He's throwing the ball in, not throwing a lot, but he's throwing it in there when he needs to, and that's what counts. We got some great receivers in Calger and Bright, and Benjamin can catch the football. Jay Hargrove can catch it, so we're throwing it and catching the ball when we need to, and I think we got a great chance to be state champions.
The Mayfield Cardinals now take the lead in the series over Fort Knox 5-4. The Cardinals have now won in 78, 85, 86, and 89, and now in 93. I was going to make a point before I went on the air. Didn't want to jinx us, but Fort Knox had never beaten Mayfield in an odd number year. They'd only won in 82, 84, 88, and 90. That streak continues. Mayfield will go to the state championship game for the 4th year in a row, and Danville Admirals, the 4th year in a row, Danville Admirals were shooting for their 3rd straight title, and if they beat Prestonburg, but otherwise we're going to be there waiting for whoever we get. And Jack, because we'll come in with the worst record no matter who wins that other game, we possibly will be an underdog, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, we will be. Usually, I don't think there's any doubt there. Anybody, if Danville wins, we're going to be a couple of touchdown underdog. But like I say, anytime you play as good a defense as